Imagine this for a second. You're doing everything right. You've been through the massive hurdle of the surgery. You're following the strict meal plan. You're weighing your proteins, sipping your water. And of course, you are taking your vitamins
Religiously.
every single morning. You're ticking every single box. But what if I told you that you might still be, well, essentially undernourished? Not because you aren't trying, but because you might be building a house without a roof.
That is a slightly terrifying thought to open with. But based on the research we're looking at today, it's shockingly accurate. It's a reality for a lot of people.
I aim for dramatic accuracy.
Yeah.
But seriously, today we're unpacking a source that suggests many bariatric patients are, unknowingly leaving themselves exposed to what is essentially biological rust.
Biological rust. That is the key phrase here. We're looking at a deep dive into bariatric recovery, specifically focusing on a component that, well, it gets overlooked a lot. Everyone's so focused on protein and water.
And our guide for this is a real heavy hitter. We're pulling insights from a comprehensive article by a registered nutritionist who has spent over 20 years working exclusively with bariatric patients. I mean, thousands of cases, seeing what works and what fails over 2 decades.
Right. And what makes this source so interesting is that they aren't just reciting, the standard government guidelines. They're looking at the difference between surviving post-op, just keeping your head above water, and actually thriving.
So the mission today is pretty simple. We are going to decode why a standard vitamin regimen might not be enough, what this rust actually is, and how to fix it. Because apparently it's not just about popping a generic multivitamin and calling it a day.
Not at all. And to understand why, we have to start with the environment inside the body immediately after weight loss surgery. It's a battlefield.
Okay, let's unpack that. Most people, when they think of bariatric surgery, a bypass, a sleeve, whatever, they just think about the stomach getting smaller.
Yeah.
That's the headline, right? Smaller tank, less gas, car loses weight. Simple.
It is the headline, but it's not the whole story. The source emphasizes that while you're focusing on the size of your stomach or the number on the scale, there is a massive cellular event happening. Your body is effectively under siege.
This is where that rust analogy comes in.
Yeah.
The nutritionist compares oxidative stress to rust forming on metal. I love a good analogy, so break that down for us. What is oxidative stress?
So let's go back to high school chemistry for a second. In simple terms, your body produces these unstable molecules called free radicals. It happens just from, living and breathing and metabolizing energy.
Yeah.
Think of a free radical as a molecule that's missing an electron. It's unbalanced, it's frantic.
So it's looking to steal one.
Exactly. It's a thief. It tears around your body trying to steal an electron from a healthy cell to stabilize itself. And when it steals that electron, it damages the healthy cell. It damages proteins, cell membranes, even your DNA. That cumulative damage, that's oxidative stress. That is the rust eating away at your machinery.
And normally our bodies can handle a few of those thieves, right? We have security guards for that.
Usually, yes. But after surgery, the production of these free radicals just spikes. And if you don't have enough antioxidants to neutralize them, they start attacking your cells aggressively.
So if free radicals are the thieves, antioxidants are the security guards.
Or, to stick with the chemistry, they're the donors. Antioxidants are generous. They have extra electrons they can give to the free radicals to calm them down. So the free radicals don't have to steal from your healthy cells. They are the protective coating, the rust-oleum for your body.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. But here's where it gets really interesting. And honestly, a little alarming. The source details why bariatric patients have so much of this rust. And it's not just the surgery itself, is it?
No, not at all. It's a perfect storm of 3 distinct factors.
Right, I saw this. There's the obvious stuff like surgical trauma. You've just had a major operation. You have incisions, staples. Your body is inflamed trying to heal. That inflammation generates free radicals. That makes sense. But there was another factor that honestly it blew my mind. The toxins.
Yes, this is something people rarely talk about. When you lose weight rapidly, which is the whole point of the surgery, you are burning through your fat stores. But fat cells aren't just for energy. They also act like a storage locker for environmental toxins.
Wait, so things we've breathed in or eaten years ago.
Exactly. Pollutants, pesticides, heavy metals. Your body often tucks these away in your fat cells to keep them away from your vital organs. It's a safety mechanism. It's like, I can't deal with this mercury right now, so I'll just put it in the fat.
Right.
But when you have surgery and start melting that fat away...
You're unlocking the vault.
Precisely. You are releasing those stored toxins back into your bloodstream. It's a massive dump of chemical stressors. And your system has to process all of that while it's also trying to heal from surgery. That sudden flood increases the oxidative stress on the body a lot.
That is just wild to think about.
Yeah.
You're detoxing in the most literal sense, but it's putting this huge load on your system. And on top of that, you've got the third factor, the metabolic shift.
Right. Your body is adjusting to a completely new reality of intake and energy production. It's a chaotic time for your cells, like a construction site. There's dust and debris everywhere.
So let's just look at the battlefield here. We have a body under attack from inflammation, a flood of released toxins from old fat, and a metabolic overhaul. And this brings us to the malabsorption factor, because at the exact moment you need more protection than you've ever needed in your life.
Your body gets worse at absorbing it.
It's just the cruelest irony.
It really is. The surgery alters your digestion. I mean, that's the point. Depending on the procedure, you have a smaller stomach pouch, so less surface area to break things down, and things move faster. The transit time is drastically reduced.
It's like a conveyor belt that's suddenly moving way too fast for the workers to grab the packages off the line.
That is a perfect way to visualize it. The food and the vitamins you take, they just zoom past the absorption sites in your small intestine. This is why the source argues that standard vitamins so often fail.
Which brings us right back to the house without a roof idea.
Correct. The nutritionist points out that a lot of standard bariatric vitamins are only formulated to meet minimum requirements. They give you the B12, the iron, the calcium. That's the foundation in the walls. It stops you from getting, scurvy or anemia. It keeps you alive.
But it doesn't account for the rust.
No, it leaves off the roof. It lacks the comprehensive antioxidant support you need to handle that massive spike in oxidative stress we just talked about. You might not get a deficiency disease, but you aren't optimizing your recovery. You're surviving, not thriving.
Okay, so let's meet the heroes of this story.
Yeah.
If we need to build that roof to stop the rust, who are we hiring? The source lists a specific antioxidant squad.
The heavy hitters are vitamins A, C, and E, plus the minerals selenium and zinc.
I feel like we see those letters on cereal boxes and just ignore them. But here, they have very specific jobs. The source breaks this down by phase, which I found super helpful. Let's start with phase 1, immediate post-surgery, the healing phase.
Right. In those first few weeks, vitamin C is the MVP. We tend to think of vitamin C as, the cold vitamin. You take it when you have the sniffles. But its real job here is collagen production.
Collagen is the glue, right? The scaffolding.
It's the structural framework. You have internal and external incisions that need to close and strengthen. You have a staple line inside your stomach that needs to become watertight. Vitamin C is essential for knitting that tissue back together. If you're low on C, that healing process just slows right down. The scaffolding is weak.
And what about vitamin E and zinc during this phase? What are they doing?
They're the bodyguards. Vitamin E protects the cell membranes of all that new tissue that's forming, and zinc is crucial for your immune system to prevent infection at the surgical sites. You do not want an infection when your immune system is already so stressed.
Okay, so you heal up, you move into phase 2, active weight loss. This is when the pounds really start dropping fast.
And remember the toxins we mentioned. This is where your liver needs backup. Antioxidants help the liver process that flood of junk coming out of the fat cells. But there's another aspect of this phase that patients care about deeply, maybe more than their liver.
Aesthetics.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely. The hair loss. The skin changes. It's the number one fear I hear about. I want to be skinny, but I don't want to look sick.
And for good reason. Now, protein is usually the main conversation there. Everyone says, eat your protein for your hair, and that's true. But the source makes a strong point that antioxidants are the unsung support team.
How so?
Well, take your hair follicles. They are rapidly dividing cells, so they're very sensitive to that oxidative stress we talked about. Vitamin C helps with blood flow to the scalp. Vitamins A and E act as, skin preservatives.
So if you want to avoid that dull gray look that sometimes happens with rapid weight loss or that dry, papery skin, you need to be looking at these nutrients.
Exactly. It helps maintain the glow and integrity of your skin while it's shrinking and adapting to your new frame. It's about keeping that elasticity.
Then we hit phase 3, maintenance, the long game. Why do we still need high-level antioxidants once the weight is off and stable?
Because the anatomy change is permanent. You will always have that altered digestion. You'll always have that fast conveyor belt. And as you age, oxidative stress naturally increases for everyone. So antioxidants in this phase are about protecting your heart and your brain. It's about ensuring that the new healthy body you work so hard for actually lasts.
So we know what we need.
Yeah.
We need the squad. Now we have to talk about how to get it. This leads us to the great debate, pill versus liquid.
This is a critical logistical problem. The source, and frankly a lot of surgeons, are shifting away from pills for bariatric patients.
Because of that dissolvability issue.
Yes. I mean, imagine a hard, compressed multivitamin tablet. It's designed to be broken down by a churn of strong stomach acid over a period of hours, but now it lands in a tiny stomach pouch about the size of an egg.
Which has very little acid.
Very little. And because the pouch is so small, that pill gets pushed out into the intestine in just a few minutes.
So it's entirely possible it just passes right through before it even breaks apart.
We call that expensive waste. You're taking the vitamin, you paid for it, but you aren't absorbing it. It's coming out the other end just slightly smaller than it went in.
Which brings us to the liquid advantage. The source mentions a specific product, Bariatric Force, as an example of this design philosophy.
Right. The logic with a liquid, especially one designed for bariatrics, is that it's pre-dissolved. The work is already done. It bypasses that mechanical breakdown barrier entirely. The moment it hits your system, absorption begins.
So you aren't relying on a stomach that's basically on strike to do the heavy lifting.
Exactly. The nutrients are immediately available to that fast-moving conveyor belt. It gives your body a fighting chance to actually grab what it needs.
And there's another word the source uses, synergy. I love a good corporate buzzword, but what does it mean biologically here?
It's actually a very real chemical concept. It means that antioxidants work better as a team than they do alone. For example, when vitamin E neutralizes a free radical, it becomes inactive, it's used up. But vitamin C can actually come along and recharge the vitamin E so it can work again.
That's cool. So they recycle each other.
In a way, yes. And selenium makes other antioxidant enzymes work better. A good liquid formula doesn't just have one ingredient. It has a spectrum that enhances each other. It's chemically designed to be more potent than the sum of its parts. If you just took a vitamin E pill by itself, you'd miss out on that team effect.
This all makes perfect sense, but I can already hear the listeners arguing with us, or, arguing with their own habits. The source explicitly tackles some common patient myths. Let's bust a few, because I think these are the mental blocks that stop people.
Let's do it. These are very common.
Myth number 1, I eat plenty of fruit and veggies. I make smoothies, I'm good.
This is the big one. And look, whole foods are great. We want you to eat them. But post-surgery, you physically cannot eat enough volume to get the therapeutic doses of antioxidants you need to fight that surgical rust.
Right, your stomach is tiny, you can't eat 5 oranges.
Exactly. You'd get full after maybe half of one. Plus, fruit has sugar fructose. For a gastric bypass patient, too much sugar can cause dumping syndrome, which is horrific, or it just stalls your weight loss.
And honestly, isn't there an issue with the food itself these days?
Here is. Modern soil is depleted. An apple today has less nutrition than an apple 50 years ago because of how we farm. Even a person with a normal stomach struggles to get optimal antioxidant levels from food alone. For a bariatric patient with malabsorption, it's nearly impossible. The math just doesn't work.
Okay, myth number 2. I feel fine right now. I'm not tired. My hair isn't falling out.
The dangerous one. We mentioned earlier that oxidative damage is like rust. Rust doesn't make a noise when it forms. It doesn't hurt when it starts. It's silent. By the time you feel the effects, the fatigue, the brain fog, poor skin, the damage is already done.
So you can't wait for the symptom to show up.
No. Prevention is the only game that matters here. You're taking these to prevent damage 5-10 years down the road. You're investing in your future self.
And finally, myth number 3. My surgeon didn't prescribe this specific fancy vitamin. They just said to take a multivitamin.
This is a delicate one. Surgeons are brilliant at surgery. They're mechanics. But nutritional guidelines are often based on population minimums. They're designed to be the baseline for the masses to keep them safe from acute illness. The expert's point here is, do you want the minimum safe standard or do you want optimal health?
It's the difference between a car passing inspection and a car winning a race.
Exactly. If you want to thrive, especially with your altered anatomy, you often have to go beyond that basic guideline. You have to be the CEO of your own recovery. You can't just follow the minimums and expect maximum results.
I like that. CEO of your own recovery. So let's get practical. We've scared everyone about rust and toxins. What's the takeaway? The source mentions supplement fatigue, which I deeply relate to. I hate taking pills.
And that's actually a massive argument for a comprehensive liquid like Bariatric Force. I mean, if you try to build this antioxidant roof with pills, just do the math. You're taking a multivitamin, plus a vitamin C pill, plus a vitamin E gel cap, plus selenium, plus zinc. Suddenly you're swallowing 8 or 9 pills every morning.
And eventually, You just stop doing it.
You burn out. It's called pill burden. A comprehensive liquid combines the basics, the B12 and iron, with that antioxidant shield in one shot. It solves the fatigue problem. It's one swig instead of a handful of chalky tablets.
And consistency is key, right? It's not about being perfect once a week.
It is everything. Protection builds over time. The source suggests making it a ritual. Keep the bottle on the bathroom counter. Make it part of the morning routine. Brush teeth. Take your shot. Because a perfect vitamin that stays in the bottle does you zero good.
That brings us to the investment mindset. I thought this was such a powerful way to close the argument in the source text.
It really is. I mean, think about what a patient has gone through. Bariatric surgery is a massive life event. It's expensive, it's painful, it's emotional. You have invested so much in your future, you've changed your whole life.
Putting cheap gas in the tank seems crazy after all that.
Skimping on the maintenance plan, the vitamins, is like buying a Ferrari and putting cheap, dirty oil in it. You are putting the entire investment at risk. You've got the high-performance engine now, you have to treat it like one.
That's a great way to put it. So, to recap our journey today, you have a new normal. Your body is healing, it's detoxing from fat storage, releasing those toxins, and it's absorbing nutrients differently. Basic vitamins fill the basement, but if you want to keep the rain out, you need antioxidants to build the roof.
And liquid forms make sure the materials actually arrive at the construction site instead of passing right through.
I love that. Before we go, what is the one thing you want our listener to just mull over?
I want to leave you with this thought. We often view weight loss surgery as a structural change, a plumbing fix. We made the stomach smaller. But what if we started viewing it as a massive, traumatic chemical event, a cellular revolution? Would that change how we feed ourselves? If you realized your cells were literally under construction and under attack, I think you'd be a lot less likely to skip that morning dose.
It's not just shrinking, it's rebuilding. That is a powerful shift.
It changes everything.
Well, on that note, go check your vitamin labels, everyone. See if you have a roof on your house. Thanks for diving in with us.
Stay healthy.